Ghost of Tsushima is loosely based on the events of the first Mongol invasion of Japan. Set on the island of Tsushima, players take on the role of Jin Sakai, a noble samurai on a quest to save his uncle and protect the island from the invading Mongols. Jin must choose between fighting honorably as a samurai or using the shadows to his advantage, fighting as the Ghost. One of Ghost of Tsushima's biggest draws is its stunning open world, immersing players in its impressively grounded world. The game features a unique navigation system where the wind will blow in the direction of the player's objective. The island is filled with enemy camps to clear out and tons of interesting side content. Sucker Punch has recently announced the highly anticipated sequel Ghost of Yotei, set for release in 2025. Horizon Forbidden West takes place in a post-apocalyptic southwestern United States. Aloy is a hunter for the Nora tribe who has spent 6 months since the events of the first game searching for a backup of Gaia, an advanced AI that could help restore humanity. Her search intertwines with a mysterious disease known only as Red Blight, leading Aloy to the Forbidden West for answers. Horizon Zero Dawn was a dazzling game, but Forbidden West is on a whole other level. There are massive online communities dedicated to in-game photography because the game feels so naturally beautiful. Forbidden West also boasts 22 new machines for players to challenge, with the combat receiving a major overhaul and a greater emphasis on customization. With the death of beloved Cylon's actor Lance Reddick, a sequel to Forbidden West has a major problem to solve. Both it and the Burning Shores DLC have kept fans busy, and at least mechanically the third entry should have exciting additions to its RPG systems. God of War Ragnarok is the sequel to the 2018 series reboot. Loosely based on Norse mythology and set in ancient Scandinavia, the game follows the series' protagonist Kratos and his now teenage son, Atreus. The pair must fight to survive the world-ending events of Ragnarok, which they inadvertently set into motion in the previous entry. Now ported to PC, Ragnarok was built on the foundation of the 2018 reboot mechanically and narratively. The games feature similar gameplay with a focus on close-up, combo-based combat, and an emphasis on puzzle solving. Players can utilize the help of Atreus and other NPCs, but for the first time in the series, players can take full control of Atreus at different points throughout the game. Ragnarok was praised for its unique Norse-inspired world designs, storytelling, and quality of life improvements. God of War Ragnarok serves as the end of the Norse era of the franchise, leaving an exciting air of anticipation for the direction the next potential game could take. All entries in the Spider-Man franchise are set in the meticulously recreated New York City. Players take on the roles of Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Mary Jane Watson throughout the games. The group faces their toughest challenge yet, when the Venom symbiote latches itself onto Peter and causes him to lose control of his rage and take it out on those around him. With Craven the Hunter having invaded the city, the trio must band together to take down him and Venom. For fans of the character, it doesn't matter if the player is swinging through the streets at full speed or watching a cutscene, Spider-Man II is visually stunning in every respect. Developers took the foundation they laid with Spider-Man and built upon everything from the combat to the mission design, making its web-swinging feel exhilarating. Like its predecessor, Spider-Man II is an incredibly heart-wrenching and well-told superhero story that any fan would adore. A Thief's End takes place 3 years after the praised third Uncharted game. Nathan Drake is a world-renowned treasure hunter who has been retired for several years now. But after finding out that his brother Samuel is still alive and needs help, Drake comes out of retirement for one last adventure, and the pair set out across the globe to find the long-lost pirate treasure of Captain Henry Avery. A Thief's End received universal praise from both fans and critics. The game features the same third-person combat and action-packed set pieces that fans have come to love. It showcases utterly beautiful graphics and extensive enemy AI that is incredibly reactive to the combat situations it's put in. With over 15 million copies sold and several Game of the Year awards under its belt, Uncharted 4: Thieves End is the most successful entry in the franchise. In the original Ratchet & Clank, players control Ratchet, a Lombax from the planet Veldin. Ratchet befriends a warbot, Clank, and the two of them explore the galaxy with the hope of joining the Galactic Rangers, a team of intergalactic do-gooders. The unlikely duo must work together to stop Chairman Drek and Dr. Nefarious from destroying the planets of the Solana Galaxy. Ratchet & Clank is a tie-in to a movie of the same name. While the movie wasn't received so well, the game received commercial and critical acclaim for its vibrant world design and intuitive platforming mechanics. Featuring expanded lore and new characters, developers were able to upgrade the game, while still making it feel like the series fans love. Ratchet & Clank serves as a remake of the original title and received a follow-up in 2021 with Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. The infamous series largely follows the story of Cole McGrath. The game takes place in 2009, the same year it was released, and it is set mostly in the fictitious Empire City. Unknown to Cole, he was carrying a powerful object known as the Ray Sphere when it exploded and gave him mysterious electric powers. The city is quarantined after the explosion, and Cole makes a deal with the FBI to bring them the now missing Ray Sphere in exchange for his freedom. Infamous is a power fantasy that puts the immensely strong player in an underpowered sandbox. Due to another power fantasy prototype releasing the same year, Infamous had to stand out. Infamous had a karma system that affected how the world reacted to the player and the powers they got depending on whether they chose to be good or evil. Death Stranding's eponymous event opened a rift between the real world and the realm of the dead. This caused supernatural beings known as beach things to become stranded in the world of the living. Sam Porter Bridges is one of the few remaining couriers left in the post-apocalyptic United States. He is tasked with traveling to the remaining settlements to connect them to a wireless communication network. Hideo Kojima is an extremely talented and passionate game designer, and Death Stranding seemed to be his passion project. Although some thought of it as nothing more than a walking simulator, others saw Death Stranding's gorgeous world as an innovative and mysterious story just begging to be told. Hideo Kojima and the rest of the talented people at Kojima Productions are currently working on Death Stranding 2 on the beach, and are shooting for a 2025 release date. Bloodborne takes place in the decaying Gothic city of Yrharnam, which was founded by a group known as the Healing Church. The church also established the process of blood ministration where they used special blood as a medicinal remedy. The story follows a hunter traversing the city and trying to find the source of the bloodborne plague that has turned the city's residents into horrible monsters. There was so much to like about Bloodborne, from its gameplay, atmosphere, and Lovecraftian art direction and lore. The combat was challenging and rewarding thanks to Bloodborne's inventive arsenal of weapons, encouraging players to practice timing their parries and attacks just right. It didn't reinvent the wheel when it comes to Souls-like games, but it did provide fans with a fun and challenging experience set in a unique world. The Last of Us is set in the United States 20 years after a mutant cordyceps fungus ravaged the Earth. People turned into grotesque monsters without autonomy, spreading the virus. Joel has survived all this time by finding work as a smuggler, and in hopes of finding a cure, he's tasked with escorting a young girl named Ellie to a militia group known as the Fireflies. Thanks to its emotionally charged story and visceral survival-focused gameplay, The Last of Us became an instant success and proved that there was still a desire for single-player narrative-driven games. It was such a success that Sony and Naughty Dog have given it a remaster, a full-on remake, and a sequel that also received a remaster. The Last of Us was also adapted into a critically acclaimed television series for HBO in 2023.